Today, we are paying tribute to guitarists who are so successful they don't even need a lead. They just use a magic wireless box to connect to their amplifier so that they can skip up and down on their massive, massive stage. I should probably explain. I was recently contacted by some fine people at Xvive Audio, and they asked if I wanted to try one of their guitar wireless systems and use it in one of my videos. This would be that video. Now, I don't want you to think I'm easily bought, although I did say yes pretty much immediately, because I was really interested to try one and see how the technology had come along. Because I grew up in a generation where wireless systems were always considered the poor relation of the lead. But, as you'll have probably noticed, technology has developed some way in the last few decades. So all the sounds I will be making on the guitar today will be courtesy of this, the A58 guitar wireless system. Let's have a listen. Okay, here's how it works. The device has two components, both of which look like that. One says transmitter on it, the other says receiver on it. The transmitter is plugged into my guitar, the receiver is plugged in to the start of the pedal board. I then flick the switch on both of them to the on position, and that concluded the setup. And to me, genuinely, that is indistinguishable from a lead, really, for all intents and purposes. There is no perceptible latency or loss of tone or clarity or anything like that. So let's crack straight on and construct some parts worthy of filling a stadium. So for this, I have a little pre-made backing track set up on the looper that sounds like this. It's the old rock faithful. We're not entirely major, we're not entirely minor. We're moving from an A chord to a D chord to a G chord, and then back to A. The reason I say not entirely major, not entirely minor, we are in the key of A major, that's going to be our root chord, but this G chord is, strictly speaking, a little bit of an anomaly. It doesn't occur in the key of A major. It's more of an A mixolydian thing, giving it a more kind of bluesy rock vibe, where we would have the G natural as opposed to the G sharp as it would be in the key of A major. If those words don't massively interest you, then don't worry, this part should still make perfect sense. So for our first part, we are going to really lean into the power of simplicity, leaving a lot of space. Remember, if you're playing a big gig, you need a lot of space so the fans have a chance to scream at you. So we are going to play the chords, but leaving plenty of space, basically. I'm going to play an A chord exactly as you would expect, really, at the second fret. I'm just going to bar it with the first finger. Then, when I play the D chord, I'm going to add a little bit of something different. I'm going to play what's known technically as a D over F sharp. So I'm not adding any different notes, but I'm playing them in a bit of a different order. So I'm playing the higher part of the D chord exactly as you would expect. G string at the second fret, B string at the third fret. But I'm going to play the F sharp with the thumb at the second fret on the low E string. And what that's going to do is lead us very smoothly into the G chord. Because we're just climbing up one semitone, one fret. And obviously that's going to work better with a little bit of distortion. So that's going to go something like this. Notice on the G, I'm adding a little bit of a riff there by using the open E string and then to the G note at the third fret to sort of climb back into the A. So that's going to go something like this. Alternatively, if you felt there was a little bit too much space in that last example, you could fill your stadium with a beautiful cascade of notes. However, you've already worked terribly hard to get to the point where you're playing a stadium. There's no reason you should exert yourself playing lots of notes. So we're going to leave it to the delay pedal in this example, which is going to take that and turn it into that. So quite a noticeable amount of echo, it's fair to say. And for this example, we're going to essentially play the chords again, but we're going to draw upon a little bit of caged knowledge, where we play the same chords in different areas of the neck. So for my A chord here, I'm going to play this. It's a little triad shape. It's the D string at the 11th fret, the G string at the 9th fret, and the B string at the 10th fret. If you're well versed in these things, you will know that is essentially the C chord shape moved up the neck until it becomes A. But I'm just going to zero in on the triad, those three notes on those three strings. Then for the D chord, I'm going to move back to here with the first finger and bar the D, G and B strings again, all at the 7th fret. So that is the A chord shape moved up until it becomes D. Then for the G chord, I'm going to go back to that C shape again. So that is going to be D string at the 9th fret, G string at the 7th, and B string at the 8th for our G chord. So the part, very, very simple. I'm just going to strum it lightly. But it'll sound suitably grand with a bit of delay, I reckon. Let's try that with the track then. And lastly then, let's look at a few ideas for soloing over something like that. Now, as we have already established, not quite major, not quite minor, so it gives us quite a lot of leeway in terms of notes we can use to play over the top of it. The go-to in any kind of blues rock scenario is going to be your minor pentatonic, which in the key of A is A, C, D, E and G. Tons of mileage available from that, but let's look at a few other options. With a kind of a blues rock vibe like that has major and minor elements within it, you can create something of a hybrid scale. It will, for example, really support using the major third, because we are playing over an A major chord, of course. Also, the major sixth works really, really nicely, because that is within the D chord that is being used. So the major third in this setting is going to be a C sharp, the major sixth is going to be an F sharp. But also, we can really make it bluesy by including the diminished fifth, which is going to be E flat, for a kind of a blues scale kind of a thing. So we end up with a hybrid scale that would go something like this. How hideous, but of course it's not actually a scale. So don't think of it as something that you would run up and down, more a kind of a palette of colours that you can draw upon. What works really nicely when you want to fill a lot of space with your soloing as well is double stops. So playing those notes like so. So I'll probably drop in with a little bit of that as well. Right, let's see what happens. I have also added a very light rhythm guitar part to the loop as well. go, a few ideas for the next time you decide to form a stadium rock band. Thank you ever so much to Xvive for sponsoring the video. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. Go on, you're here anyway, it doesn't cost you anything. Thanks again, and I will see you with something else very soon. Cheers.